Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to Shonen Soup. I'm your host, Bo Talks Media, and today we are talking about the new series Ginka and Luna from Shinpei Watanabe. It's a really good one. Alright, so first and foremost, I didn't really do a video on Tokyo Demon Bride Story because I did a video on the one-shot. Of course, Tokyo Demon Bride Story was the other series that kind of started in the wake of Duran and Our Child's cancellation. And then we have Ginka and Luna now. Not really going to do a full video on Tokyo Demon Bride Story. I actually think it's not... I'm already kind of disinterested, to be completely honest with you. But that said, Ginka and Luna, I had no expectation for because there was no one-shot for the series. Shinpei Watanabe hadn't really done too much else from what I can tell. I think he was an insistent on Magu-chan, God of Destruction. But the art was released like a week before the chapter came out, and I was actually pretty turned off by it because... quirky, cute snowman, little girl character. I was like, okay, is it gonna be kind of tropey, like a little kid humor or something like that, And it's not. This is what I've been waiting for. This series, first chapter, I know I should be trying to be, kind of conservative with my thoughts here and hope and remain skeptical, right? But this first chapter actually kind of blew me away. I just recorded the Manga Panel podcast. You can go watch that tomorrow, I think, where we go all in detail on this chapter, what we all think of it. And I almost picked it as my favorite chapter of the week above, One Piece and Akane Banashi and Blue Box and all these series because it actually really impressed me. I think since I've been following Shonen Jump kind of actively, since like late 2020, around the time that Sakamoto Day started, this is by far the best first chapter of any series that's come out since then. Akane Banashi is the best series consistently, I think, of the new ones. And obviously Sakamoto Days is up there too, and Blue Box. But in terms of just the first chapter, the first impression, Ginka and Luna immediately captivated me, and I just want to read more. So the basic premise is Luna is this girl. Her mother died in an epidemic, and she never knew her father. So right off the bat, that's two things they're setting up for later. You're going to find out about that epidemic. You're going to find out about her father. Great. And she lived alone in these snowy mountains, this Arctic area where it's just super snowy, which is already just kind of an interesting setting. You don't really see snow too much in a Shonen Jump manga. You never really see it in TV shows because snow's expensive, right? But even in manga, you don't really see it too often. We had that with Red Hood for a little bit there, but then they went to Summer Beach Island in the middle of nowhere. And then Red Hood got canceled. Anyway, so super interesting setting right off the bat. Anyway, she has no other friends here. There's no one else there. She's completely isolated with the snowy nature mountains. She makes a snowman. She puts her hat and a scarf on the snowman, and basically the snowman comes to life because through some twisted BS that happens, this snowman, this was a person that lost his body basically, and they explain later there was this. Let me pull it up actually, real time. I don't want to get this wrong because it is very important. Let's see here. It was a fierce battle, so fierce that their magic warped the time and space of this area. And basically his body is there. And Ginka's original body. And the core plot of the series, the core adventure here is going to be getting his body back. He can't really leave the snowy area because he needs to be in the cold. And throughout this first chapter, we see him training Luna to be able to use magic. So she's always wanted to use magic, and we actually get a 5-year time skip, which was crazy. So she learns how to do magic. She has a pretty good understanding of it. She can make like a little forest now and make fruit spawn in. But by the end of it, the panel and the paneling in the art is also just incredible. But we see them doing some crazy twisted stuff. There's one panel, I'll put it up on screen right now. Remember to do that if hopefully. There's this one panel that's absolutely crazy where it was literally just like this warped time space where you can see part of like the moon in the sky. There's like a ship falling in. There's some weird statues. There's a big beast like bones of ribs or whatever. And then in the distance you see this castle. And I'm just thinking, that's gonna be something one day. I love when a first chapter just instantly sets up a ton of stuff while still feeling natural. Sometimes it feels a little tacked on. I was really positive on Aliens Area's first chapter. I think it almost was a little forced in that case with Tatsunami's backstory. I think this chapter is just so natural. This chapter respects its world. It knows what it wants to be. It knows it wants to be a grand fantasy adventure with crazy BS that you don't even know what to expect, right? It is the fantasy series I've been waiting for in Shonen Jump. I think Shonen Jump right now is actually in a really good place in terms of it has a lot of really good series that I enjoy reading. it's kind of lacking in the fantasy department, which is what shonen series is to me. You know, Akane Banashi and Blue Box, for as good as they are and how much I love them, they're probably in my top 5, maybe even top 3 in some of those cases. Blue Box, they aren't. Fantasy hits different for me. A shonen fantasy like adventure manga just hits different. I don't know if this is going to end up being a battle manga per se. We see, you know, it's obviously set up that it could be because Luna learns magic and she has magic ability, and we actually see them fight like this big goat with a bunch of titties and it has 3 heads. So it could become a very serious battle manga, but it also could just be like a cool, quirky little comedy adventure manga where they just go and meet a bunch of cool people, and then, you know, with little fights in between. But even if it turned into a hardcore battle manga, I think that's completely fine also. I think magic is at the very least more interesting than a lot of other shonen battle manga right now because there's no demons. There's no BS demons. Magic's in a different space because that's Harry Potter magic. This is just like hand witchcraft magic, right? Almost more akin to like a Black Clover, but even it just feels different, right? While still having the same tropes. So I think instant setup, I really like it. I also like both characters a lot. Luna especially. Ginka is cool. I think I'm saying his name right, unless it's Inca. The G is silent in Inca. But Ginka's cool. I want to see more of him and get his backstory because obviously, you know, they set that up with his body and what happened to him. Like, that's going to be a crazy thing. That's the end goal, right? But Luna is immediately just a really cool female protagonist. I wasn't too sure about her design at first because, like I said, there's a 5-year time skip. I didn't really like her design when she was a kid, but after the 5-year time skip, after Ginka trains her in magic, I love her design. I think she looks awesome. She looks sick. So I don't know, man. I just think the series has a ton of potential. I'm really excited to see where it goes and what they do with it. I think it's honestly, its potential is kind of limitless, to be completely honest with you. As long as they nail the pacing in like the first arc here, I think this could be a mainstay in Jump. And I know I shouldn't be saying these things so early on because it's the first chapter. Once we switch to being, you know, weekly with 20-page chapters, it could completely fall off. I was hyped up on Aliens Area for the first chapter, but something about this tells me that it's not going to be like that, especially after reading Tokyo Demon Bride story, which really doesn't resonate with me. I don't like it. I'm tired of these demon stories. I don't really want like I don't want a cute, quirky femme protagonist, you know. Luna is a female protagonist, which is awesome, but she's not, you know, it's not the cliche. It's not the Jump cliche, right? So, I just think it's doing a lot of stuff right, and I'm really excited to see where it goes because, like I said, I really do think the possibilities are limitless. They could turn it into a hardcore battle manga, and that's awesome. They could turn it into a casual adventure manga where she's learning new spells, and they could even turn it into a kind of comedy gag manga like Witch Watch. I mean, they could really do anything from where they set it up, but I want to dive more into the lore. I want to see what this world is like. I want to really world building. Build up this world. Build this world up like crazy. Add a whole monarchy to just do everything with the world and its characters. And that's another thing about this chapter I actually really liked. It's just these two. We don't know another character. I like that a lot because it gives both them time to breathe. It gave them both time to like really be set up as our main characters. I am instantly invested in both of them. I still don't care about either of the main characters in Aliens Area after 14 chapters. That's not good. I don't really care about what's happening in Tokyo Demon Bride story. Of course, it's only 2 chapters in, so, you know, give it some time and then fully rank it. But just first impression of Ginka and Luna, I am kind of blown away, to be completely honest with you. Just because I've been saying on the podcast, if you listen to the podcast on the different channel, Manga Panel Podcast, go check it out. I've been waiting for another fantasy series. I think Jump is, like, I already kind of went over this. I just think there's a lack of variety a little bit in terms of the setting of most of its series. So having a nice little fantasy land, especially like snowy to start off, and, you know, I think Luna said one of her goals was to see a beach. I'm sure we'll go to a beach, and just, that's so exciting. I want to get enraptured in this world. I wish there was 100 chapters for me to binge right now because I'm instantly captivated. So that is going to do it for this review, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think of the chapter down below. Maybe, honestly, if it continues to be this interesting every week, I might just do a weekly review of it because I really have a good feeling about this. But I also like Super Smartphone, and that's ranking at the bottom of the magazine. So, you know, there is that. I'm also like Duran, and Aishimon, and Red Hood. Not like this, though. This is different. It's different. It's different this time. I promise you. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the chapter down in the comments below. I'm really optimistic for the future of the series. Like I said, I think it's Shinpei Watanabe's first series after working as an assistant with Magu-chan. So that's always interesting to see an author's first like real work. You know, I'm sure he's done. I don't think he's done one shots. I couldn't find that much information about him, but we know he was an assistant on Magu-chan. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, you can subscribe here for more manga content and anime content every once in a while. You can follow me on Twitter at BoTalksMania. You can check out the Manga Panel podcast as well as the Discord. That'll all be linked down below. And until next time, folks, peace.